Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Alex StarCraft here, bringing you guys the last game, the third game in this best of 3 series between LiquidHerO, our blue Protoss, in the top right hand corner of Daybreak, and mouzMana, our red Protoss, in the bottom left hand corner of, well, same map, it's Daybreak. And these players are playing in the DreamHack Summer 2012 tournament. They are in the quarterfinals, I believe, right now. Yes, quarterfinals. Currently tied 1-1. Mana taking the first game, Hero taking the second game, but definitely go check those out. Great demonstration of both macro and micro play out of both of these players. Hero getting his pylon quite a bit after Mana. I'm not sure if there's really a reason for that, but you know, that's what's happening, and you see both players possibly a little bit wary of a cannon rush right here. Mana may well get his gateway somewhere over here, but of course, for those of you that didn't know, on Daybreak, you can actually cannon rush by building like pylon, and then cannon, and they actually can't get in. 2 pylons can block them from getting behind your mineral line. But this replay is, of course, from the LiquidHerO replay pack. I did do the LiquidTLO replay pack previously, have all of them together in one playlist. So be sure to check out my channel at the end of this game. Also, if you hit the little like button right underneath the video when you're done watching it, I would really appreciate it. That is, of course, only if you feel like it, only if you want, only if you like the video, or the subscribe button in the top left-hand corner. Every subscribe, every like really, really helps me out. So, Hero, of course, one of the best players on Liquid, and he is showing it so far in the series. I look forward to doing the rest of the replay back as he sends out his scouting probe. Mana just checking around for proxies. So very nice. Both players playing totally standard so far. The LiquidHerO getting a faster second pylon than his opponent. I'm not going to read into it too much. He's playing pretty standard right now. So we're going to wait. Are we going to see some aggression? Are we going to see macro? This map, of course, being one of the bigger ones on the ladder in general, I would feel, just because it's so long to get natural to natural. You can, of course, look at the mini-map. It's just a pretty big map. So, of course, aggression is a little bit handicapped. Blink Stalker is terrible on this map. You can only blink in here and here. So if they just kind of chill, then you have no angle. So we might be seeing Stargate. That is a popular build on this map because of all the dead space all around here. You can check for proxy pylons all around the map because there's a crazy amount that go down, like over by this area, over by your, I guess, 5th expansion, so they can be aggressive towards your main. And you just really have to be careful on this map. So Stargate, very good, gives you that map control. And Robo, very nice if you want to play passively, which is, of course, always an option. You can macro up a little bit, go for some kind of a huge timing, or grab an expansion. So Hero does indeed not have a second gateway on the way, though Mana does. He's been doing this consistently this entire series. He looks like he's really got his PvP opener down to a T. Hero doing a little bit of harassment with this probe right here, but I doubt he's going to be able to kill anything as he runs it away. This probe almost died, but it is a lucky probe. It did manage to live. Taking a look at the worker count, we see Mana's actually a little bit up on Hero, though both players are slightly supply blocked for the time being. And all of a sudden, Hero has a pylon for a second longer, though Mana looks like his pylon and his probe lining up very nicely. Hero chrono boosting out a second Stalker on top of the one that's already out, and I feel like with this double gas wall, we're going to be seeing some kind of tech play for sure. I cannot imagine that we're going to be seeing some sort of a expand build for the time being, so we are going to see a Robo coming out from Hero. We could well see something like a 3-gate expand, but it's not going to be a 1-gate expand, which is actually a thing in PvP, I learned recently. And Mana, my god, doing the same thing every game. This is the 3rd game in a row he is open with this Twilight Council play. It seems like he is just really comfortable with it, really comfortable with the transitions he needs to do, and all that cool stuff, so definitely go check it out. And here is where Hero is saying GG. Mana said it at the same time last time, and I guess, Hero might have found a, well, Hero found the probe of Mana. Last time, Mana might have found the probe of Hero. That might have been why he said GG in the last game. Again, guys, check that out if you did not watch that. But what's going to happen, of course, the Robo, normally better than the Twilight Council, but it'd be interesting to see. Of course, Mana has been consistently getting the Robo to follow up the Twilight Council in all these games. Hero getting quite a few shots off on the Stalker, but Stalkers aren't faster than Stalkers, so Stalker is going to outrun the other Stalkers. And we do have 2 more Stalkers over here, but because the units are actually slightly split up, that means that Hero is going to have an advantage because he already got off so many of the shots. So Mana might be able to engage from the top of the ramp, but no, he's running back home to where he has a sentry where he feels safe. But now that he has 4 Stalkers, he's pushing forward, wants to be sure to not lose that Stalker, but he has picked off one of Hero. Hero now sending up the Zealot, and he is going to get one of the Stalkers, but it looks like Mana is going to be able to kill every single unit that Hero has. Of course, Hero cannot retreat with these. He's just checking, seeing what his opponent has, and he is going to get up into the main, so that's a little unfortunate for Hero. or for mana, I should say, very good for Hero. He's going to see every single thing that his opponent has. If we take a look at his vision, we see he sees everything. The probe is still alive. 3 gateways from mana, as he has been doing every game. Robo, Twilight Council, getting that blink. Hero even sees it being chrono boosted, and the lights going up and down right there, as you can see. That means there is something being researched. Could be charged, but he knows with this kind of a stalker count, it has to be blink. So Hero, getting up a quick robotics bay. We could see some kind of a timing, but I'm not entirely sure. And with that really quick robotics bay actually being pretty greedy, and blink stalkers are actually good against a quick bay because you can blink right on top of the Colossi and pick it off. And hopefully Hero will be able to hold off this aggression, but he knows this is such a small map. As I said, the blinking area is not very large, so he has a good chance of holding this off pretty well. But we'll have to see, is Mana going to be able to take advantage of Hero's pretty greedy play right here? A third Immortal is about halfway done, as there are 2 already out. He has an Observer, and he does have some sentries if need be, but his opponent has an Observer as well, so the sentry's not going to be too much use, and he actually has nothing that shoots up, nothing except for sentries, so he's going to have to be really, really careful if he does want to keep that alive, as well as snipe his opponents, because, well, his opponent has Stalkers, much better against air than sentries. So, Mana is now producing Immortals of his own back home, being so extraordinarily consistent so far in this series. He has been doing that the entire time, and just like that, he's actually expanding and containing his opponent, just like we saw in the last game. Beautiful play out of Mana. Classic RTS maneuvers, and we do have Colossi out from Hero, though, and I don't think Mana is aware of that. Getting off a few shots, but taking a look at Mana's vision, we see, nope, he doesn't even know there's a Robo, so he has no idea there's going to be Colossi coming, and he might be a little bit worried, honestly. His opponent could come out and crush him. He does get a bunch of shots off on the Immortal, but Hero is going to actually kill the Observer with his very, very few number of Stalkers and Sentries. But, a very nice force field from, I would say Mana, but I don't think he has any sentries, so he's going to be blinking forward. He picks off one of the Immortals, but not before taking quite a lot of damage. And Hero, spending a lot of force fields just to try and catch the one sentry, but he's immediately forced to pull back, but he has the Colossi now. Mana does not know he has it yet, but now he does. He's going to probably pull back very soon because he knows he cannot do all that much damage when there are Colossi, when there are Immortals on the field. Trying to focus down the Immortal, but taking a lot of damage in the process. Hero knows that he doesn't have to worry about microing that back if his opponent is taking such huge damage while he's trying to kill it. So, looks like for the time being, Hero has managed to repel his opponent with the tech advantage, with the economy disadvantage here. As he gets on top of his opponent, he has to try and make something happen with this Colossi, and he's pushing forward more and more by the minute, driving his opponent's proxy pylons back, and Hero using his own proxy pylon, warping in behind his opponent to get off that flank. And he is going to be killing the pylon as he slowly pushes forward. So Mana losing quite a lot of pylons right there. Take a look at the units lost. We see Hero has still lost slightly more than Mana, but not bad at all. And Mana needs to be really careful. He's going to try and focus down the Colossi. And that's what I'm talking about with the blink. They're good against low numbers of units, but it does look like Mana, actually, with the flanking Immortal, don't know where that came from, but both players are actually kind of trading sides of the map, and it looks like Hero is not concerned about these few units running to his base from Mana. He knows he can just warp in and hold that off, so as he's pushing, trying to keep the aggression on, he has an expansion back home with Mana, does know about, but he needs to try and make something happen if he wants to not fall too far behind, since his opponent can get up Colossi very soon. He's trying to do as much damage as he can to probes and all, but he does get a nice force field on the ramp, but unfortunately for him, I don't think he's quite going to have energy for another, though he will have energy very, very soon. In about 2 seconds here, and he has energy for a force field, so are you going to do it, Hero? It looks like no, he's not going to get it off quite in time. No, he does get it off, segments off quite a few Stalkers, forces his opponent to blink back, and oh my god, Hero, are you going to get the expansion? He's focusing down, and oh my god, yes, Hero gets the expansion, and Mana all of a sudden is in a bad position. He does not have that much tech. He's not made a single Immortal, or he has, but it's somewhere on the map, herp-derping around. I don't actually know where it is. Here it is. It's just like trying to do some harass, but unfortunately it has a whole bunch of zealots changing, and it's like, oh god, I'm immortal, but I can die. So Mana actually, wow, really doing a good job with these Blink Stalkers, so taking out every single unit that isn't a Stalker from Hero, so very nice from him. He's going to kill the Proxy Pylon. So just like that, the Mana has the army supply advantage. He's lost, okay, well, slightly more units, and it's less now. But he does have that economic disadvantage right now. He lost that expansion, and that is a really big deal. But he sees his opponent's army composition. He sees the Nexus timing, and he knows he has a window that he might be able to do some damage in. He's probably going to try and expand back home. Probably going to try and expand back home, especially because he doesn't have a whole lot of minerals. Mana actually going for a lot of aggression right here, moving in with a whole bunch of stalkers, but I'm not sure if it's quite enough. Some very nice blink micro, but the force fields from Hero are going to force Mana back, but he has quite a lot of units rallying across the map as well as he tries to set up this proxy pylon. And Mana, wow, actually not showing any signs of expanding. He warps in even more units, so he's no minerals at all. He's kind of going all in. He knows when he's lost his expansion and his opponent is already finished, he's going to have a bad time. So Hero is going to be hard-pressed to defend this. Of course, a lot of his supply advantage is indeed in that worker supply, so as the units push forward, it's going to take some nice micro out of Hero to hold this off. His force fields are now gone. His immortals getting blinked on top of, one of them falling very, very quickly, but Mana's stalkers are dying very quickly. Hero is forced to pull some probes off the line because he knows he needs them. He needs to soak up the damage. He needs to deal that tiny little extra bit of damage. But now Hero does have a Colossus. He does not have a Thermal Lance, but he has a Colossus. And my god, do those things do a lot of damage. But Hero needs to make sure he does not want to lose his expansion as well. And it's going to fall so quickly to the Immortals and Stalkers of mouzMana. And oh my goodness, Hero is going to lose his expansion too. And that is the thing you have to be wary about when you sacrifice a lot of units to kill an exponent's expansion. And all of a sudden, both players really hurting for income. Hero with a lot of worker supply he's not really going to use, but he's using them in the battle right now, microing back the Colossus, making sure that's not going to die, while keeping all these units trapped out of the expansion, so Mana is going to blink back down. But all of a sudden, Hero has a significant army supply advantage. He's up by about 10. And it looks like he's going to try and push forward now. Both of these players are actually pretty all in at this point. Neither one can really afford to expand, otherwise they will outright die. And neither player is willing to do that right now. They are fighting for their tournament lives as Hero pushes forward once more, getting off some nice force fields. Now force fielding the ramp, making sure his opponent can't get up. It might have been Mana that did that. Not sure. But either way, this Colossus is definitely starting to pay off. Even though it does not have kills, you see it all of a sudden per shot is doing 30 damage to multiple units. And he also has the Immortal with 4 kills now, and that is, of course, doing that 50 damage every single shot. But Mana has a bit of a concave on his opponent. I was going to say contained, but concave works too. And, of course, that's definitely going to favor him. But when it comes down to a fight, Hero we see constantly poking in and out of his base. Both of these players blazing away at upwards of 150 APM or around 150 APM. So, in just a minute, we're going to be going ahead and seeing what is going to happen to Hero. Is he going to manage to break out of this contain? But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it, as Mana does have a lot of stalkers. He's going to be pushing up, seeing if he can do some aggression, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. That would have been a brutal shot if the Colossi got some off while all those stalkers were bunched up on the ramp. And let it be known, these players are mining out fast. Hero down to only 5 mineral patches. Mana still has 8, but none of them have a whole lot on them. So these players are really quickly approaching the point where they actually can't make any more. And when you're almost out of resources, Dark Shrine. So another saying to add to the StarCraft 2 lexicon. And Mana might be able to make something happen with this Hero. Does he have an Observer even? Yes, he does. I don't know where it is. Okay, it's over here. He wants to check for expansions, check for things leaving the base. But if he doesn't have a Dark Templar over here, he's not going to be in very good shape if his opponent makes them and gets them up. And there's only about 50 more seconds. And oh my gosh, Hero is going to be making a Colossus. And we do see Mana poking forward with the Observer. He's trying to make sure, does my opponent have an Observer? No, I don't think he does. He wants to pick it off if he can, because he knows if he can just get those Dark Templar to do a little bit of damage. As Hero mines out, he's down to his last about 300 minerals right here, while Mana has about 700, 800, so definitely that's actually good for Mana, especially since they are even on army supply for the time being. And the Dark Shrine is done. Hero does not have an Observer here, and I think this is going to be it for him, though. An Observer is very close to being on the way. If Hero Chrono Boosts that out, it is still being Chrono Boosted, so the Observer is coming out very quickly. And the other Observer is headed back across the map. Did he scout the Dark Shrine? Yes, he did indeed scout the Dark Shrine, so Hero knows it's coming. He's going to have Observers, but Mana still not actually. Ooh, snipes one Observer, so he knows that's good for him. But Hero, all of a sudden, he knows he's mined out. He's pulling his probes. He's waiting for the Observer, which he now has. And Mana, does get his Observer sniped and has not made any Dark Templar. But Mana knows if he just stays here, he can probably outlast his opponent. He actually does have a Dark Templar, but he's going to be taking some damage. But he knows he is still mining. His opponent is not. Or at least I think he knows that. He can see the probes in here almost regardless. So whether he knows it or not, he is actually in pretty good shape right now. Hero wants to push out, but knows it is going to be very risky for him, and he just decides to go for it. He pushes down with almost everything, but he can't get down the ramp. A lot of his units are not attacking. Force field goes down. I think it was from Mana, and his units are actually all disintegrating here at the front. He's forced to micro back the Colossi. The Stalkers in the back still not attacking, and Mana with the Concave is just kind of obliterating Hero. Blinks back, relinquishes for just a second, but Hero has now spent the very last of his resources. He has enough for probably not even a Stalker. No, not even enough for a Stalker, and with the blink forward, Mana killing a lot of the units. The probes are falling very quickly. Hero is equal in supply almost. He's down by about 7 supply, 3 supply now. But he's lost almost all his units, and all of a sudden there's Dark Templar coming in, and oh my god, Mana sniped the Observer. Hero is not going to have enough for an Observer until a few seconds from now, and oh my god, he's actually mined out. He does not have enough for an Observer, and Hero is going to be knocked out of the tournament. The only reason he's not yet left is because, well, he knows he's out of the tournament if he loses this game, and he doesn't want that to happen, pulling the last of his probes. You see he's just 5 minerals short of making an Observer, and I lied. He actually had enough to make an Observer, but it immediately is getting sniped, and Hero is just postponing. He's going to be GGing soon. And Hero must be a very sad panda right now. He sees APM slowly falling. He's just hitting the keyboard absent-mindedly, I am sure. And it looks like mouzMana is indeed going to be our winner of the series, as LiquidHerO, Lady Gaga, and quite a few other people leave the game. Congratulations to him for advancing. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I thought it was a really interesting look at PvP. It was nice to see all the different builds that these players are doing. Be sure to stay tuned for the rest of the LiquidHerO replay pack. Watch the TLO replay pack if you have not yet. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Wonderful evening.